Good afternoon. Happy Monday, March 15th. Tax season seems to be in full effect. Our Saturday was the biggest selling Saturday of the year. We're going to get these stimulus checks hitting this week as well. So first note, make sure you guys are very well stocked up on handsets. And I'll be calling down my doors today to make sure they place a larger than usual order so you guys are all set for the week. My name is Adam Peterson. I host these trainings every Monday. Today we have a special training just for the district managers and above, really making sure we're developing not only the sales rep, but our district managers as well. So I thank you guys so much for being on this call. Let me do a quick mic check. Can you hear me okay? And let me load my PowerPoint. Can you guys see my screen?
We can hear you and we can see your PowerPoint now. Thank you.
Yes, all good.
All right. Thank you guys so much. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. So 2021 is the year of the district manager. Boost is looking for fewer, larger dealers. And as we grow, and we've had some great growth over the last couple of years, and we're still have great incentives to continue to grow, we're seeing more district managers being assigned in our areas. And so we want to make sure that you guys are maximizing your potential and getting the most out of the areas that you cover. So how do we make this the year of the DM? Well, number one, we make sure you guys are having staff meetings that are standardized. We want to create consistencies. You know, the who, what, when, and where for these staff meetings. Make sure you have metric goals that are standardized. Your own the mile strategies are standardized. So it's nothing that's kind of a, fly by the seat of your pants. Oh, we'll do this week. We'll do this next week. Yes, you need to be adaptable in the wireless game. We get that 100%. But you need to have a backbone, a structure in place that you're following up on every single week to get the most out of your teams. You want to create a loop of feedback for everything you guys discussed with your reps in store and how you standardize it throughout the business. All right. So there are 4 key disciplines of executions that I want to walk through with you guys. And these 4 disciplines of execution are going to become part of our DNA. So number 1 is focus on the wildly important goals. Sometimes you'll hear this referred to as what is your WIG, which is your wildly important goal. Number 2 is you're going to act on the lead measures. Number 3 is you're going to keep a compelling scoreboard. And number 4 is creating a cadence of accountability. So if we hop right into this and start with the first discipline of execution, focusing on those wildly important goals. Number 1, it's important for your team to know what are those wildly important goals for your business. It's activations, it's 3MR, it's your value-added services, and your ad lines. We measure way more than that, right? So we measure more than 4 things. But when you're talking to your reps and you get to like thing number 7, 8, 9, you're going to lose focus. So it's important that we have our wildly important goals categorized. This is what we want to make sure we're on top of each and every day, which is your activations, where you're at stores at for 3rd month payment, where you're at for your value-added services, and where you're at for your ad lines. You can definitely have more goals than that, but again, these are the 4 you should be looking at and talking to your team about each and every day. Number 2, the second discipline of execution, is to act on the lead measures. So you may say, what's a lead measure? Well, a lead measure is going to be the highest leverage action or activities that you can do in store to accomplish your goal. So let's look at an example of what are the lead measures to affect your PSA, your per store average. You think about how do we increase door swings? I think I might have someone needs to go on mute. All right, thank you. So the first thing is the lead measure. How do we affect PSA, per store average? So how can we increase door swings? Well, there's a few things that are controllable at the door level. Number 1, smile and dial calls. Next, your Facebook posts and advertising. Are you using Facebook? Are you posting? And for those of you on this call, if you have not sent your account manager a link to your Facebook pages, please do so, as we're trying to get some QRL codes out to all of our doors to help with that, help with your Facebook posts and your advertising. Next, planned events and marketing. Where it's been a long year, but things are opening back up. Vaccines are readily available. We need to get back in the habit of having planned events and doing marketing outside of your four walls to truly own your mile. So those are lead measures that easily affect your PSA. Smile and dial calls, Facebook posts and advertising, planned events, put them on your calendar, do your marketing. And then also think about, how do we close more lines based on the traffic we generate? So again, acting on our lead measures. Number one, make an offer every time. This is the add-a-line pitch. So many times do I walk in the door and I'll see a rep come, we're talking to the customer comes in and pay my bill. Okay, what's your number? Boom, $57 or whatever that price may be. They are not pitching add-a-line to every customer. This is an easy tweak. When you guys see it on your sales floor, to tweak it to, hey, congratulations, you actually have a promotion for our bill payment customers. You can get an add-a-line and get a $200 phone for as low as $5. Is there anyone in your family who needs a line of service today? So it's that little tweak to make an offer every single time. And sometimes when I question a rep on this, I'll get the excuse, oh, I know my customers, I see them every month. Fair, I understand you see them every month, but you don't know what they're going through every single month. Maybe they're in a new relationship. Maybe they have a kid who's growing up, is now old enough to have a phone. Sales is a numbers game. You have to give that pitch every single time to maximize your sales. It's just that simple. If you're not doing it, then your reps are just being lazy, and we're here to make money. So let's get the most out of every customer walking in your door. Keep in mind, our stores are specialty stores. What do I mean by that? If you go to Walmart, you could be looking for 100 products. You go to a Target, you're looking for 100 products. Someone comes in your Boost door, they're a Boost customer only. You're not selling anything but Boost. Maybe some Bluetooth speakers, but you're just selling Boost, right? So we need to make sure we're making that offer every single time. And lead with that 3-line family plan. So we have the 3 for 110 or the 3 for 90. Great offers available for your store. Make sure your store is prepared and they're set up that they are very comfortable on the add-a-line devices, the BOGO pitch, the 3 for 90. The 5 P's for the discipline of execution, you need to make sure your store is prepared. So the preparation is there. Promotions, they know the promotions. Product, they know the phones. Placement, they know how they're following that planogram. And positioning, they are positioning the offers correctly each and every time. Now, I want to show you something on discipline of execution number 3, creating a compelling scorecard. Now, this is a rep level one. I took the employee names out here, but this came from one of my stores, and it was Cody, who's a DM for us in the Central Illinois market. And we do these DM calls with Boost. Sochi's the AE down there. We do them every single month, and the DMs actually pitch to us what's going on in their market. Instead of us telling them and, kind of just listening to us for half an hour, the DMs actually pitch to us. This is a super great best practice. And this is one thing that Cody shared on this month's call. I asked if he'd be so kind to cover it with you guys as well, kind of how he creates this and the benefit he does for his team. Cody, are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me, Adam?
Yep, I got you.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cody. In order for this is a little table that I create on a month-by-month basis, just so it makes it easier for me as a DM down to the store level, the rep level, to actually see who my top performers are each month in and month out, and then who I need to really address and coach more. So as you can see, I've got multiple metrics that more than the 4 that we already went over that I grade by, I guess. And I have certain standards that I look for personally, and then as well as at a boost level. So you've obviously got your activations, your upgrades, your total ops, how many ports, how many boost ups, how many existing add-a-lines, which is a big one that we look for, obviously. And then conversion rate and boost shield attachment is huge as well. Anything usually over about like 40% as far as the percentages go would be I consider like a good performance. So that tells me that certain reps, if you're as long as you're over 40% mark, you're converting at a very, very high rate, which is why anything over 40 would be in green. So this just gives me more of an opportunity to look at who's bringing my team down and who I really need to really focus on and again, like address more and coach more and figure out where the issues lie.
Awesome. Thanks, Cody. And then just to clarify, guys, so this is what he's looking at. This is all just by rep. These aren't stores. This is each individual rep. And Cody, did you get this from you guys internal reporting, or did you use DK dashboard to get these numbers?
I use DK.
Okay, so these numbers should be there for everyone who's using Elevate on this call, as long as your store is using it correctly and putting all your sales in there as you should be. This is very easy information for you guys to pull using Elevate and the DK dashboard. So now when you're talking to your teams, you can look at what rep is helping you, what rep is hurting you, what reps are really strong in conversion, what reps are really weak, what reps are really strong in boost shield, what rep needs additional coaching. So this is a fantastic example of how to drill it down to see your strongest players and your weakest players, and then coach where needed, coach as needed for you guys as district managers. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I love this. And this is why I wish every district manager would do this for all their doors, because it's an easy way to have that accountability factor. Plus, when you're showing reps this, if you have all your reps' names on there, everyone's competitive in sales. If you see yourself at the bottom of a category, you're going to be motivated to, I want that number one spot. And if someone's not and they're like, oh, I don't care that I'm the worst on the scorecard. Okay, guess what? Maybe we need to do some more hiring, So this really helps. I think it drives competitiveness, it drives results, and it drives accountability. So I love this example from the call that we had locally, and want to share you guys in this nationwide call. Thank you, Cody. Here's just another example of a scorecard breakdown. Oops, sorry, I went one slide too far. Another example of a scorecard breakdown. This is kind of on the store level where you can look at it as well. Again, this was from the DLAR, where you can see your PSA, your projection, how many power bundles you have, boost shields, eligibility checks, payment plans, all that good stuff. But as DMs, you should have this information that you are looking at with your team all the time. I would look at it not only from the store level as a view like this, but also by the rep level like Cody just showed you. All right, the fourth discipline of execution is creating a cadence of accountability. So that cadence of accountability is a rhythm of regular and frequent team meetings that focus on a wildly important goal. One of those things we talked about at the very beginning. So if you think about it, like I know for like the boost side of the house, right? Your boost AEs and their DMs, they have a call every single week. Us at DCI, we have a call every single Monday, 9 a.m. every single week, kind of go over the week, go over the goals, go over what are the priorities. As DMs, you should be doing the same thing. You should have these regular and frequent meetings planned. They don't need to be long. It can be 30 minutes. You could do them 9:30 to 10 o'clock on Monday, right before your store's open, or if that time doesn't work, 9 to 9:30, whatever is best for you guys. But it's a great way to go over everything that was happened the previous week, all the results, and hold people accountable for their commitments from prior weeks. So I want you to think about your cadence of accountability. One of the great quotes from Michael Jordan is, "Heart is what separates the good from the great." So if you got that heart and you're digging in and you're doing this every single week and you're pumping these results, this is what's going to take you from a good DM to a great DM. And sometimes your team may have to adjust, like, oh, we've never had to do this before. I got to hop on these meetings. Yes, because we want to be the best in the business. And to be the best, we are going to go the extra mile. We are going to have these conversations every single week to make sure that we are hitting our goals throughout the month. We can't wait till the end of the month and then look back and say, oh, we did really poor here. Let's do better next month. That's too late. If you do it every single week, if you find an area you're short in week 1 or week 2, you can adjust and make that up in weeks 3 and 4. All right, so next, let's hop into a little bit of a different subject. This is our DM team expectations. So one of the new focuses is spend less time at your honey hole. What we mean by that is your best stores probably don't need that much attention from you. You want to prioritize your store visits to where you're going to see the biggest return. As DMs, you guys are the CEOs of your territory. You need to have that owner mentality every single day to drive the results. This comes in marketing activities, social media, etc. If you're looking online with me right now, you can see there's a slide on the right-hand side that you can use at rep level. So you can meet with reps, have these breakdowns. How many activations do they have? How many upgrades? How many BYOD? How many add lines? how many unlimited plan pluses, and then what's their attachment rate. You can then get notes from your rep, and there's a small spot for commitments for next week. We have this deck. We can send it out to you. Just ask your DCI account manager. They'll send you a copy of this deck. You can copy and paste this and kind of make that form your own. But it's a great way to have those one-on-ones with your reps and really be a CEO of your territory. You want to elevate every door that you guys have and every rep that you have. Is that store above or below the line? What are the symptoms? Is it a rep that needs additional coaching? Is that rep willing to work with you and improve? All right. Next, let's look at store visits. You guys should set a goal. You guys should set a goal for daily visits. You want to plan your week and load your schedule into your Google Calendar before the following week. So they had on here, and I took it off, it was 5 visits per day. The reason I had to leave that from this slide is this may be tough for some of you. Maybe you only have 5 or 6 doors and you're not going to get to 5 or 6 doors every single day. But set a goal, what works for you with your number of doors and what your territories are for daily visits. So if you're seeing 2 doors a day, 3 doors a day, plan your week, load your schedule in, and make sure you're going there and getting that accountability where needed. Again, the recommendation is 70% of your time should be spent on your lower performing doors. So the slide says 49 activations or less. That's just a ballpark, right? The message here is 70% of your time should be spent on your lower doors, 30% at your thriving doors. If I got a door that's crushing, guess what? They probably don't need a lot of your focus. They're probably a pretty good, well-oiled machine. Yes, you still give them some love and you tweak where needed, but that the additional time is going to be needed at your lower performing doors. Also, you want to focus on improving one item and move on to the next. So identify the symptoms and put in place to address them. So if you find something at a door that needs help, identify it and go from there. All right, so next I just want to get into, as we close the call, our boost offense. So the boost offense, the B is for your brand. It's your auditing and inspection of your stores. So when you walk into a door as a district manager, you should think, would I take the boost president here or the district president here? 15% of your visit should be spent there making sure your stores look good and are merchandised correctly. You can't rely on like your boost reps to come in and hang your posters up. This is part of owning a business. You guys should be doing this. And this is another thing where all 12 and I'll go indoors and posters will be sitting in back. Reps aren't putting them up and putting the right merchandising calendar out there or merchandising on the sales floor. So make sure you're spending time on that branding and doing an inspection of the stores. 25% of your visits should be spent on your offers and own the mile tactics. So do your reps understand the current plans and promotions? Do they know how to process them? Are they up to date on STAR training? Do they have a folder or a mailbox to get store goals? Are they set up for sales success? Do they have their bundle pricing memorized? And that's really important. Well, you want to be a guru of 2 things, your phones and your offers for your sales reps, right? So they should be able to pitch those bundle prices at the snap of a finger. Or if they have a sheet that gives it to them, they can still do it very quickly. That's great. The second O is own the mile. This is another 20% of your visit should be spent over here. And this is, does the store have its attention grabbers outside? Do they have an event calendar? Are they up to date with Smile and Dial? Have they been posting Facebook marketing? And what are their plans for SSI weekends? There's a calendar of SSI events. So that's your government paychecks. Are you guys doing more to get outside of your doors to drive that traffic during those weekends? Another 20% on selling skills. So this is your skills practice and the phrase that pays. So when you guys are at your door, you can role play with your current offers, and you can lead from the front and sell to customers where there is also, so they can see how you do it and they can mimic what you're doing to get the most out of every transaction. Think about as a rep sticking to the sales process and game plans you implemented. Did they understand how they get paid? So do they understand the comp structure? Some doors are giving benefits for add-a-lines. If you're getting paid more for an add-a-line or for a BYOD, do they understand that? That'll help push that goal. And then focus on your role plays for add-a-line, BYOD, bundling, top-down selling. The last focus of the boost offense is your time management. Again, this is your CEO mentality. You own your territory. So a minimum of half a day per week should be spent on planning in your admin time. The rest of the week, get out there, schedule your store visits in advance and by the rep. So not necessarily the store, but what reps are hurting you. Make that your focus to build those reps up. Make sure the reps know their schedules. Make sure it's what you have is consistent, and you're doing these weekly calls to prepare. And you don't want to get caught in a whirlwind where things are hitting you and you're not ready for it. So a little bit more in depth on these. When it comes to branding, the Amped Merch app, AMPD Merch. If you guys don't have this on your phone, download it. This is from the Android store and iPhone store. This has a thing on there where you can click on resources and click on merchandising grid. This will show you where everything in your store should be at. So there should, and all your reps should have this as well, to be honest. There should never be a time where you walk in the store and they don't know where posters are supposed to go. Number one, they get the pack out with the posters. Number two, if they don't have that or it was thrown away, if they have the Amped Merch app, they can pull it up at any time to see what is needed. That first P again is preparation, and this is going to help with your PSA as well, because if your posters are right, your offers are right, your sales are going to be right. And some customers, you know, everyone learns differently. People purchase for different reasons. They need that visual to understand the promotion and pitch. So it's important your guys' branding is corrected. Oh, when we talk about owning the mile, owning that mile around your store. So start to create a standard marketing calendar, 60 days out. Marketing plan for the events. Don't just kind of do field of dreams and willy-nilly and, I'm just going to go over here this day, that day. Plan for it. Partner up with local businesses. You can give an example of partnerships you have today. You can go out to local fitness places, laundromats, tax services. A lot of great examples to own the mile. You have Facebook and Google. And everyone should have their own login for that and hop on the training. So when you want to own your mile, make sure you're updated on everything. Hop on the trainings that are offered out there. We do weekly trainings every single Monday at noon, always kind of on a different topic. If it applies to you or you can learn from it, please hop on it. And if you see trainings from your booth side of the house as well, hop on those as well. The marketing calendar, again, we touched on. You can plan your SSI days, your pay days. Make sure you guys take a look at that, at the calendar for the year. I do have included in this deck where you can see what are your big paydays coming up for the rest of the year. Next, when it comes to Smile and Dial, make sure you are making phone calls with a purpose. Sort those lists. When you pull up your list of leads, don't just look at the 25 lists loaded. Click on Load to All. And then you want to sort it by two areas. One, phone type, so you can hunt and fish effectively. And you're going to go after those customers who have the oldest phones. And two, by family plan. If they're not on a family plan, great add-a-line opportunity. Important you guys use Griffin with every sale. You have to have a minimum of 100 transactions per month. But if you're only doing payments and you're not putting your sales in there, it's a big miss. Because that's what? If you're not putting your sales in there, by rep individually, that DK dashboard, which is a free tool for you, will be worthless. You got to have it and use it correctly. When it comes to call quantity in Smile and Dial, what are the fair expectations? I always say 10 calls per day. Another example is 1 call for every hour worked by each rep. The second O of the offense is offers. So make sure your reps understand all current plans and offers. They can confidently process the promotions in the portal and through Elevate. Make sure they're updated on their STAR training and that they're set up for success in the store. So they have the add-a-line devices near the register. They have the BOGO devices grouped together. Accessories are organized. You want to come into a store and the accessories are everywhere. Say you have a rep going from store A to store B, and I heard it last week. Well, these accessories are everywhere. These aren't organized at all. Make sure your store is set up for success for your offers. Have your bundles prepared as well. So when it comes to your high-end devices, make sure you have your out-the-door pricing. That includes a setup fee. It includes Boost Shield. It includes a case and tempered glass. Include all that, the assumption close. And give them that one price out the door where you're going to get your accessory, your case, your screen protector, and your protection on the device. And you pitch it to them in one quick, easy phrase. That is going to stick so much higher than if you try to piecemeal it together and price them for a phone. It's going to be extra for this, extra for the case, extra for the screensaver. You don't want to do it that way. You want to bundle everything and have those bundle prices prepared for your reps to easily communicate to the customers walking in the door. Universal language for her offers is money. Make sure your reps know the commission that they earn. There's an example in this deck. It is editable if you want to use it, where you can put the rep's name on it and show the commission maybe they lost. Maybe you have a spiff on BYOD and they're not offering it, and they lost 10 BYOD sales. You lost X amount of commission. You can edit this if you wanted to say, hey, if you would have gone, say your conversion was 15%. If you would have gone from 15% to 30% in your conversion, this is the extra commission you could have made. So this check right here is money you left on the table by not hitting your conversion goal. So let's step it up next month. Let's drive to that 30% or 40% and get all the money that's available to you. Selling skills. So this is the S in the boost offense. Want to make sure that you have the ability to build the relationships with your reps have the ability to build relationships with their customers, persuade them to make those purchases and repeat business. It's going to be the heart of the selling, right? So if someone goes into your store and they have a bad experience, there's a lot of boost stores out there. Chances are they're not going to come back. We need to make sure that we give them the best white glove treatment when they come into your store, so they want to come back and see you again. So make sure that when you're doing your store visits, your reps are following the game plan. Do they know the pitch and the phrase that pays for the most common sales scenarios? Are you making sure it's interacted in every interaction? Are you making sure that every rep's taking their trainings? Are you making sure that every rep has their star login? In addition to those knowledge checks with every door, are you sure role playing to make sure they understand how to sell the current promotions? Can they tell you the why boost? Do they comprehend and try to sell the platinum level every single time? I promise you, if you ask your reps right now, what is platinum selling and how does it equate? The majority of them are not going to know. This is something we rarely touch on, but platinum selling, which is more points for a family plan, more points for a higher end device, more points for for add-lines. That's going to make your customers stick with you. That is under quick links. You'll see platinum selling and it gives you that point-by-point breakdown. But if they have a higher platinum selling score, they're going to have a more chance of that customer staying over 3 months. And obviously, we want our customers to stay with us at least 6 months until they are upgrade eligible. The T in the boost offense is tracking your commitments. So you want to make sure you ask your reps to give you a reasonable goal and a time frame to meet that goal. So for example, a customer says they're going to sell 3 add lines to bill payment customers by next Wednesday because they've had none all week, set a quick calendar reminder. Joe told me by next Wednesday he'll have 3 add lines. Then when that Wednesday comes up, follow up and track that commitment. Make sure it's attainable. Make sure it's reasonable. You don't need to ask for 10. I think 3 is reasonable in a week, and track that. And if your rep's hitting it, give them the congratulations, give them a pat on the back. And if not, okay, we got to do more coaching. What are we missing here? And evolve that rep's sales skills. The call and meeting cadence, as far as team management and time management, we started the call off this to kind of wanted to hit it one more time. Your team members should know when to expect your meeting with them. Like I know for me, DCI, every Monday at 9 a.m., we got a team call. Every Monday at noon, I'm doing a nationwide call. Your team should have the same thing. They should have these call times set where they know to hop on with you guys every week. Friday team hype calls seem to be a must. Because why? Our Fridays are really, really big. So for any DM on this call, my recommendation for your cadence would be a Friday team hype call. Set expectations and goals for that weekend. Anytime there's a new promo launch, you want to hold a daily call, probably for the first several days. First thing in the morning, prior to a store to open, and have all reps attend, even if they hop on more than once. But you want to make sure they know the phrase that pays for the new promotion, and you want to set the sales plan expectations. And if you want to build in a small contest for a jump start, that's great, up to you guys at the store level. But that always helps as well. All right, guys. So I know I had a lot in there. It is 12:29, so we got about a minute left. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Adam, I had one real quick.
Yep.
Is there a way that we can get that accessory attachment rate? Because it's not on the DK dashboard.
No, accessory attachment is all going to be door level. So actually, there may be a way in Elevate. It's just not on the DK door dashboard. I'll play around with that and see if I can find it for you. But yeah, that's not built in there. So that's a great question. I'll take that up and see if there's a way they can get that added in.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
I actually reached out to Juna to help us with that, Adam. So as soon as I get the answer, we'll circle back with Cody and we'll let you guys know.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Problem.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Have a great week selling. I know it's going to be very busy. Again, place your big orders today. Priority number 1. Priority number 2, make sure you're using that Motorola link to enter all your Motorola sales. Every single person who's entered has won a prize. Just a little tip. We got a lot of prizes out there. Use that for every new and upgrade you guys are selling for any Motorola device. It started on the 26th of February, goes through the end of March. So let's take advantage of that right now. And if you have any questions, reach out to your DCI account manager, and we will be happy to help you out. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week.